Dear students, let us discuss the last unit of managerial economics subject, that is industrial policies and structure. After understanding Indian business environment, now we will be discussing about industrial policies and structure. After having a fair idea of Indian business environment, now let us understand about the industrial policies. The topics that we are going to cover here are the critical look at the industrial policies of India, new industrial policy of 1991, private sector, that is growth of private sector, their problems and prospects, SMEs, significance in Indian economy, problems and prospects, then fiscal policy and monetary policy, foreign trade, trends in India's foreign trade, impact of WTO on India's foreign trade. Now coming to the objectives of planning commission. Here the objective of planning commission is high growth rate, achieving social justice and economic self-reliance. And the planning commission has introduced 5-year plans in the year 1951, 1951 to 56, and second year 5-year plan from 56 to 61, like that till 2017. Later it was changed to Niti Aayog. Problems in industrial development during the plan period. What are the problems the Indian industries faced during the plan period are like this, that is the poor capital formation, political factors, lack of infrastructural facilities, poor performance of agricultural sector, gaps between targets and achievements, dearth of skilled and efficient personnel, elite oriented consumption, then concentration of wealth, poor performance of public sector, then regional imbalances, industrial sickness, then regime of state of control. Coming to industrial policy, an industrial policy or industrial strategy of a country is its official strategic effort to encourage the development and growth of all or part of economy, often focused on all or part of the manufacturing sector. Government action to influence the ownership and structure of the industry and its performance. It includes procedures, principles, that is the philosophy of a given economy, policies, rules and regulations, incentives and punishments, the tariff policy and the labor policy, government's attitude towards foreign capital, etc. Now let us discuss the objectives of industrial policy to maintain a sustained growth in productivity and to enhance gainful employment, to achieve optimal utilization of human resources, to attain international competitiveness and to transform India into a major partner and player in the global arena. Then industrial policies in India since independence are industrial policy resolution of 1948, industrial policy statement of 1956, industrial policy statement, that is in 1977, and industrial policy of 1980. New industrial policy of 1991, the features are de-reservation of public sector, de-licensing, then disinvestment of public sector, liberalization of foreign investment, foreign technology agreement and MRTP Act. The outcomes of new industrial policy are the 1991 policy made license, permit and quota raj a thing of the past. It attempted to liberalize the economy by removing bureaucratic hurdles in industrial growth, and the limited role of public sector reduced the burden of the government, and the policy provided easier entry of multinational companies, privatization, removal of asset, limit on MRTP companies, then liberal licensing. So all these are the policies considered under new industrial policy, and the limitations of this are stagnation of manufacturing sector, then distortion in industrial pattern owing to selective inflow of investments, then displacement of labor, then absence of incentives for raising efficiency, then vaguely defined industrial location policy. Coming to private sector enterprises, private sector includes all different types of individual or corporate enterprises, both domestic and foreign, engaged in different fields of productive activity. Private sector enterprises are owned and managed by the individuals or group of individuals. So these private sector enterprises are mostly characterized by certain common features like private initiative, profit motive, and ownership and management in private hands. Here we have certain facts which showcase the growth of private sector, number of companies we had and paid up capital, like that. Then private enterprise has gained immensely from government's plan policies. Various developmental and financial institutions have been set up by the government. The Indian domestic market has been completely sheltered. The private sector has received various direct incentives from the government, and the prospects of private sector are through sixth 5-year plan. Private sector has been given much importance. He has registered a fast growth rate and automatic expansion of capacity and special facilities. The problems faced by private sector are regulatory procedures and related delays, unnecessary control, inadequate diversification, reservation for the small sector, lack of finance and credit, low ratio of profit. So now coming to the new next concept, MSME, that is micro, small and medium scale enterprises. The worldwide MSME have been accepted as the engine of economic growth and for promoting equitable development. They constitute over 90% of the total enterprises in most of the economies and are credited with generating the highest rates of employment growth. With low investment requirements, operational flexibility, and the capacity to develop appropriate indigenous technology, SME have the power to drive India to new heights. That is, hence it seems like there is a silent revolution happening in India powered by MSME. And again, the details about MSME has been given, and then concept called SME has came into picture, that is small and medium scale enterprises. Some statistics of that has been given here, and significance of MSME and growth of MSME, the problems faced by SMEs, then about economic policies, fiscal policy, objectives of fiscal policy. So here economic policy refer to the actions that government take in the economic field. That is, it covers the systems for setting interest rates and government budget, as well as labor market, national ownership, and many other areas of government interventions into economy. Such policies are often influenced by international institutions like International Monetary Fund or World Bank, as well as political. Then coming to fiscal policy, the fiscal policy deals with the taxation and expenditure decisions of the government. Some of the major instruments of fiscal policy are budget, taxation, public expenditure, public revenue, public debt, and fiscal debt deficit in the economy. Fiscal policy means the use of taxation and public expenditure by the government for standardization or growth of economy. Then let us discuss the objectives of fiscal policy. Here the objectives are the optimum allocation of economic resources, equitable distribution of wealth and income, maintain price stability, and achievement and maintenance of full employment. Here we have different tools for fiscal policy. Then monetary policy is the process by which the monetary authority of a country, generally the central bank, controls the supply of money in the economy by its control over interest rates in order to maintain price stability and achieve high economic growth. In India, the central monetary authority is the Reserve Bank of India. Then the objectives of monetary policy we have. Then foreign trade policy. It is foreign trade policies or government actions, especially tariffs, import quotas and export subsidies designed to increase net exports by promoting exports or restricting imports. So these are the different policies we discuss under industrial policy: economic policy, fiscal policy, monetary policy, and the features of FTP. Then about trends in India's foreign trade. Some information about that, and impact of WTO on India's foreign trade has been given. So this is about industrial business environment, industrial policy and the pricing policy. So with this we have completed the subject economics, managerial economics 22 MBA 26.